Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome everybody to the Easy Arabic short course. Today is the 11th video. We have a lot of work to do. I say that every day, of course, but it is a lot of work. It's not my fault. So today we'll do fragments, something new. It's more like phrases. So what's a fragment? If you ask me, fragment is more like a phrase, or you can say that something that is not a sentence. It is like, how can I give you an easy example? A blue masjid. Will you call that a sentence? No. It's more like that. So it's not important what it is. You will understand eventually. What is important is that there are 5 kinds of fragments: idafa, harf of mansub, harf of majroor, mawsuf sifa. I know 4 of them don't make any sense to you, but this does. We have done this before, haven't we? Haza, zalika. This makes sense. Except this one, these are all new stuff. So let's move on. So what's an idafa? An idafa is a fragment which brings 2 isms together with the word of between them. Look to an easy example. Messenger of Allah. You see the of here? So this is an idafa. What that means is you cannot call this a sentence. Mother of mine. My mother. You can write that is mother of mine. So that's an idafa. That's all. It's nothing else. In Arabic, the word before of is called mudaf, and the word after of is called mudaf ilayhi. Now you may say that, hey, the word after of is majroor. That's different. That's status. We are not talking about that. We are talking about a phrase now. So when you see a phrase and there's a of between them, then you will call the word before of mudaf, and you will call the word after of mudaf ilayhi. You have to remember this. The word before of is mudaf, and the word after of is mudaf ilayhi. What are the rules? For a mudaf, you cannot have any al. That means you cannot have the meaning da. Al-Qur'an, it will not be mudaf because there's an al. And it must be light. You do remember what light is. Light means it cannot be un, it will be u. It cannot be an, it will be a. Or it cannot be ani, it will be a. You do remember light, right? If you don't, please watch the previous video. And conditions for mudaf ilahi is that it should be a majroor. You already know what a majroor is. And it must be immediately after the mudaf. Now this does make sense, right? You already know that majroor is the word after of. So the word before of is mudaf and the word after of is majroor. Normal. And between them is an of. There's no of in Arabic, but if you translate it in English, it's of. So it's a perfect match. And it must be immediately after the mudaf. So there will not be, every majroor will not have a mudaf before it. So majroor. So you can say that all mudaf ilayhi are majroor, but all majroor are not mudaf ilayhi. Something like that. Okay? Now, how does it work? If we find a idafa, we will translate with of between them. That's the only reason why we are learning it. Like if you see Imam al-Masjid, and now you may say, hey, there's an al here. I said al will not be on the mudaf. The mudaf ilay can have al, but the mudaf will not. If it was al-Imam al-Masjid, then it will be wrong. But the Imam does not have any al. Imam al-Masjidi, it's not even heavy. If it was heavy, it would have been Imam al-Masjidin, but it's not that. It's Imam al-Masjidi. So it will be mudaf and mudaf ilahi. This is the mudaf and this is the mudaf ilahi. Okay, simple enough. And here's the attached pronouns. His house, that's also a mudaf ilahi. Baituhu, his house. Baituhu, if you don't know how it spells, I will tell you. Baituhu, his house. Hu, huma, hum, that's who. His house, that is also a mudaf ilahi. And you can see there's no gap between them. And now you can say that, hey, there's no of here. Remember, house of him. We can convert this. We have all done all this before, okay? And this special mudafs. Now these are some words, when you translate them, unfortunately or fortunately, there will be no of between them. What on earth does that mean? See yourself. Fauka, above. So now something is above you. above of me. Will you say something like that? Below of me, after of me, before of me, in front of. It already has an of. Will you add an in front of? It does not make any sense. Besides of, some of. That is why these are the only mudafs who, when we translate them, they will be following the same rules. No alif lam, must be light, must be majrur immediately after the mudaf. The only difference is they will not give the meaning of, and you don't have to do anything, because if you memorize these words, you will know yourself, hey, this does not have any of. Okay, we'll learn more examples later. Since it's an easy course, I have to keep it easy, or otherwise people will call me crazy. Okay, now harf of mansub and harf of majroor. Do you remember that dual and plural majroor and mansub are same? Ani, ani, una, ina, ina were different. Sorry, una was something else. Ina, ina, ani, ani, atin, atin. The mansub and majroor were always same. So you may have had the question that time, that how will I know if it's a mansub and majroor, because they have the same ending. Well, today is the day when you will know. Suppose you found muslimina, una, ina, ina. So you found muslimina. Now how will you know that it's a mansub or majroor? If you see a harf of mansub before it, it is mansub, and if you see a harf of majroor before it, it is majroor. It is as simple as that, but it will not be simple if you don't memorize them. So there are 7 harf of mansub. You will always find there are 6. We have added an extra one. It is also harf of mansub, but the first 6 are important. This one is not so necessary, but these are the main ones. Inna, certainly, for sure. Anna, that. Ka'anna, as though, as if. Bi'anna, because. Laita, alas. Lakinna, however. La'alla, so that, hopefully, maybe. Can have other words between them. That means harf of mansub could be way far away from the mansub itself. That means muslimina, and any of these words can be way before muslimina. But if you see them and muslimina shows up later on, you will know that, oh, so it's a mansub. Helps you understand the meaning, that's all. Now this is very important. The harf of majroor. There are more, but these are the ones that show up in the Quran. Be, with, ta, swear. This is something that you'll find very rarely, but it is available. Ka, like. La comes in 2 forms. Wo is an oath. You have heard this. Wal asri. That's wo. Wa. Min, from, because. Fi, in. Fi dinillahi afawaja. You have heard that also. And, about, away from. Ala, you have. This is a very common one. Ala Ibrahim innaka hamidum majid. Hatta zuttumul muqabir. Hatta, until. And ila, 2 words. Now remember that these words cannot have any words between them, similar to idafa. That means if there is a word after there is a majroor and there is no harf of majroor immediately before that majroor, then you will say it's not a majroor. You cannot ensure that that's a majroor, because harf of majroor, if you want to call something jar majroor, harf of majroor and the majroor together are called jar majroor. If you want to call. So that was all for today. I know it was very quick, but it is better if you see these for yourself and find out those. And I have already mentioned, if you have any questions, you can email me or comment anytime. And this is just a view of the mini series I'm trying to bring it up. Divine inspiration, stories from the Quran, Dr. Quran, Quran reminders, Emily's adventures in Jannah. One video is already uploaded. And Quran ayah by ayah. Inshallah, slowly we'll start all. And one thing I want from you all is your feedback. Please, is this course helping you? How do you feel? Is it sufficient? How do you think it can be improved? Is it very difficult? Because it's called easy. If it is difficult, then I have to change it. And of course, please share your feelings and experiences. If you have learned, if you have improved, Please tell us. Tell me actually. It's I'm alone. I'm making all this stuff alone. There's nobody with me. So I really love to hear from you. So that's all. And inshallah, coming up next is days 4. As you can see, Islam is about to end very soon. And with that, very soon your Easy Arabic short course will also come to an end. Actually kinda busy now, that's why the progress is very slow, but still I'm trying my best. If you think there are any way this can be improved, please feel free to tell us, and see you. Assalamu alaikum.